Hybridization. In the present metropolis, the growing land prices and the increasing pressure on the developers to optimize the utilization of built areas are changing the way how we architects get involved with every project in urban environments. The intervention is majorly governed by density, multiplicity, and to rejuvenate urban centers. As there is an exponential growth in a city, more demand for housing, entertainment, retail, green space, and infrastructure follows and in turn promotes more growth. As this increases, the architecture that supports it begins to merge and challenges the notion of boundaries. Such a merging of a building with neighboring to involve the other program within itself. Considering history, there has been many numerous interventions of integrating habitat with commercial, and many a times retail combined with frequent unexpected combination will occur, such as market with a bridge. Such as these combinations cannot be completely unblended or nameable typology, they challenge our conception of understanding of how a building identity and architecture typology looks like. Furthermore, as this absence of typology is escalated and formalized, it becomes a phenomenon and it is referred as a hybrid building. Hybrid architecture fixates on contemporary concerns by merging multiple conceptions under a single infrastructure, while it highlights the diversity of living experiences, program, and people. The thesis intends to look as a rethinking the role of market in an urban structure as a new hybrid module supporting a new type of socio-economic development and create a medium for communities by creating a platform for not only economic means but also socially. The research is determined by the pursuit of new forms of market which can contribute more to city and function program corresponding to the request of modern consumers. Considering Mumbai, there are numerous number of markets which have been established on certain set of rules and organization. The markets came up and were constructed in the areas where a sufficient amount of population existed or in future were planned to establish. The government made markets cater to and help various individuals in setting up a market and workability. The state-owned market has though been established on careful planning of every ward to make it less congested and more utilitarian, but being designed just for monofunction, it lacked the sense of public realm. Yes, most of them fails to abide by the rules of planning and being monofunction in nature. In addition to that, a market needs to lack a certain character in it. Hence, the planned market location becomes a strategic location for any B2B market compared to a normal one. Present demographics show that most of the market which exists today in the city lies mainly in a region where a constant shift of people or footfall is seen. The transit hub, such as the railway station, has become a popular choice for the market. The formal planned market, which can be a mall, also lacks the involvement of public realm from all economic strata, as well as it acts as an alienated box right across the street. The institution which lies vacant during times when no footfall is there can be reutilized and uniformly in a flow where people can be maintained in all times of day. In Mumbai, the city with an extreme diversity in population and program have been replaced by high density residential tower that generate a monoculture environment. The culture of high density can be responded to with new hybrid typology that are efficient and optimize realistic and continuous flow of city through its building. Thus, if it's combined to create an hybrid environment, the relation between two might not sound very well, but they could work symbiotically, creating a new identity of itself, of not being just called a market but something much more. Combining a primary function with another can be termed as mixed use, but combining intent lies in merging of two sets of different functions which are far apart from each other. The thesis tries to rethink to establish a market by the way of hybridizing, creating a new environment by which a new urban insert can be made within a context of environment with an upcoming chance of high inflow of people. The upcoming transit hub in the city could become a potential site for the intervention where the factor of convenience can be amplified, merging it with a program which could cater to large masses of people which will arise in coming future. To understand the existing fabric, a comparative study of existing market was done by field visit. The observations were recorded and presented per field study based. The study was done to understand the successes and the failures of various market typology by understanding the market from urban to individual store level. Hence, macro to micro level study was made possible. Following analysis comprises of various understanding of structure of market type, workability, public movement, and surrounding context. The site is situated on the intersection of JVLR and LBS Road. The site is located with a naval housing colony complex. The site is within a campus of Kendriya Vidyalaya campus where majority of students come from the naval housing colony. The central courtyard in the school is an addition, also seen as a large open space which is facing the intersection, which remains underused open space. The government has proposed a metro station. The metro station will be an interchange between line 4 and line 6. The present scenario doesn't respond to the future proposal, as well as there is no pedestrianization on both the roads, as highly governed by vehicles. Yet both the roads serve an important link for vehicular network. As a result, it's prone to become more high traffic. In addition, the metro station would lead to an increased footfall. Thus, primarily three things are taken into consideration for architecture intervention, which involves the upcoming metro station, the school, and the underused open space. The site analysis is carried out by taking many factors into consideration, which namely include wherein the site is unclassified in terms of DP plan. Hence, there is a clause wherein the land which is included in which is being taken is a defense land, but there is a clause in government wherein we could take the defense land if it's meant for large public purpose. The contour arrangement is such that the west is sloping down towards the east with an elevation of 3 meter over a distance of 120 meter. The site is surrounded by important transit nodes, which includes bus stops, two proposed metro station, railway station under less than a kilometer. Climate study of Mumbai is taken into consideration at a macro level, wherein wind direction and sun path is taken care by designing. The first diagram shows the impact of different sun path and connectivity path, which would be an essential part for the metro. Initial marshing, which includes of main programs, are taken into consideration. Pedestrian flows on the basis of massing is estimated. The transportation network with major important nodes, the shading patterns signifies site receives unobstructed natural light throughout the day. A number of strategies have been formulated wherein positioning of school, public spaces and adjoining green spaces and open spaces. The weathering suggested that southern and east should be raised. The water harvesting is planned mainly in accordance to the slope of land. The first diagram shows the impact of different sun path and connectivity path, which would be an essential part for the metro. Initial marshing, which includes of main programs, are taken into consideration. Pedestrian flows on the basis of massing is estimated. The transportation network with major important nodes, the shading patterns signifies site receives unobstructed natural light throughout the day. A number of strategies have been formulated wherein positioning of school, public spaces and adjoining green spaces and open spaces. The weathering suggested that southern and east should be raised. The water harvesting is planned mainly in accordance to the slope of land. By taking the movement diagram into consideration, the massing has been done as follows. The depression is created in the east for the main axis. For the context, the massing is increased towards the west as the program requirement, and the stepping is started from the east continuing towards the west. A large void going through the basement helps achieve light and ventilation in this large mass. Furthermore, to protect the stepping terraces, a large parametric east light through roof has been provided to prevent the intervening from the weather. The ground floor is intentionally kept more open to allow the large public flow coming from the transit hub as well as the public functions. The curved bar is at the north is a school which exists within the complex yet shares a different entrance and a movement pattern. The bar is curved to create a room for an additional green space for the school. The civic office is tucked within the pedestrian plaza uh, and a bicycle parking lies within the staircase block at the northeast. Large anchor shops have been placed at the ground level to attract a large footfall. This level is the starting point of transition zone between the concourse level and the connecting level of Metro Line 4. This is a main entry point to the building. A large pedestrian plaza in the northeast leads to plus 7 meter, creating multiple public spaces. On the large public staircase, the entrance of it leads to a stall market while leading to a shop market. Furthermore, an additional plaza is created for the intersection between the concourse and in between level wherein movement can be seen while transit and shopping all together. A series of large shops have been positioned leading to mall wherein central atrium creates another circulation for it. The concourse level acts as an important level wherein an unobstructed movement of pedestrian is created either for an interchange or for transit up or to utilize the other important programs of intervention. An additional terrace which creates room for an open market while reducing the mall footprint, thus a synergy between the two. The school step backs at every two levels while it enjoys a green terrace which acts as an additional open space for the kids. The level 3 mainly includes a hawker plaza in the southwest and the southeast, which in addition, a number of mid-sized shops have been placed in the mall is oriented in which way a circular movement happens throughout the floor to balance the footfall across all regions. The school towards the market is planned in particular manner while ob- obstructed part is enjoying skylight reaching until the ground level of which the width changes as per the setback from the terrace. The level orients people to this level orients people to the entertainment zone where the mall remains wall-free as large footprints exist in addition to open up the school into a basketball court which is tucked within the mall complex which is accessed with access restricted to school. In addition, a locker room has been created adjoining it and furthermore a large open area which overlooks the terraces of the school and the market which would able to give a look through the basement wherein the movement of regulated in terms of drop-off and pickup zones. The level 5 is designated for more public congregation in nature in terms of program. The food court is placed at this level while large public hall is tucked between school and food court. The food court enjoys food stall at the adjacent level. Most of the QSRs have been placed here. The school at the upper level enjoys multiple terraces view. The public library sits open to the public hall, while the QSR and the restaurants create room for an additional public hall. The hall can be accessed from the basement as well as its facilities acts as an individual service core. At the back of the library, an additional green spaces is created for the library which could cut off noise from the market while creating more impact by its footprint. The basement has an entry from east and exits from the southwest. A larger part of southwest is designated for loading and unloading catering to mall and market while services are tucked at the corners. In addition, the basement is created for an establishment of required parking limits as per standards. The second level of basement is more service oriented while it created space for parking as well. The long section cut through the stepping market while cutting through a large void in a larger chunk is a mall. The stepping terraces becomes places of commerce but also becomes a chance of interaction. The large chunk has two levels. More open area is calculated which includes a basketball court and the public hall while library has having an individual terrace. This section cuts through the connecting bridge which joins two metro stations. The multiple terraces can be seen. In addition, the ground level, the transit interchange is also emphasized. The school terraces also can be place of interaction wherein different activities can be seen at various levels. This section cuts through the connecting bridge which joins two metro stations. The multiple terraces can be seen. In addition, the ground level, the transit interchange is also emphasized. The school terraces also can be place of interaction wherein different activities can be seen at various levels. These are the wall sections which shows important details of the wall sections at school terraces as well as wall sections at the west facade which has a parametric skin. The circulation pattern is made such that the building has been kept public in nature at most of the levels. The building is more public in nature at the ground level and at the concourse level while balancing the semi-public functions throughout the floor. The intervention has number of entrances because of the hybrid nature wherein each access caters to different program of convenience. Each access opens up the user to different set of programs. The firefighting has been planned as per NBC. The fire staircase is present in sides of malls. Sprinkler system has been implemented in the larger type of building in nature. Sand buckets have been placed at strategic positions as per the standards. The cut exhaust signifies the network of firefighting systems at every level. The intervention is planned in such a way that it allows of natural ventilation on the upper level of the terraces, and green terraces are placed for the school. The east light roof gives a greater control over the direct sunlight, which prevents the harsh light of south and west, while allowing natural light to penetrate into the buildings at all times of day. The water calculation has been done as per NBC, and the distribution of tank is divided into 4 parts to achieve a uniform supply throughout the intervention. The parking requirement as per standard has been come to a number of 400 car, which has been taken care by the system of stacked parking. The facade and the skin is designed with the titanium dioxide, which is a smoke-eating cement, which is a new form of cement being used in countries like Mexico and Spain. The cement has a capability of eating away smoke and pollution emitting by vehicles and convert it into CO2 and other non-harmful gases. The facade of south faces the JVLR, where this type of skin is being planned. The parametric roof is explained with the help of exploded axonometry, where each member is interlinked to achieve this form. The form development and calculation of member is formulated on Grasshopper. The building structure is a mix of concrete and steel, wherein the major part of it is the steel, as the need of long span columns creates more free space. The process of member assembly has been explained in the diagrams. Metal decking floor system has been adopted to minimize the slab thickness and to create more space for the services. The rainwater calculation is done where normal rainfall of Mumbai is estimated. The tanks are placed at strategic location wherein water can be stored with natural gradient of land, wherein without any mechanical means, the terraces of school which are exposed to external environments have also been helpful in diverting the flow of water. The STP calculation is done as per NBC. Uh, NBC needs, in addition, a service slab has been placed beneath the food court for the services. The other part signifies a number of ducts which connects the waste either to STP or to the municipal sewer. The following slide shows the area statement. An FSI of 3 is consumed, and a total area of 28,000 square meter is the total built up area. This view is taken from connecting bridge, where the pedestrian large plaza opens up and becomes a place of interaction. The following view is taken from Interchange Plaza, the main platform wherein individuals can choose to direct their path in multiple ways. This view are taken from Metro Line 6, wherein parametric roof and facade is exposed in a vehicular and a pedestrian movement can be observed. An interior view of school is captured, wherein a buffer is created for resting, which could be utilized by kids during their breaks. View from the locker room of basketball court locker room, which overlooks the movement of vehicles. In addition, the market and the school, creating a diversified interior window within itself. View from the food stall shows different level of stall and hawker market in a dramatic way, wherein the complete journey of visitor to market can be observed. Holistic view of complete intervention. A complete walkthrough around the intervention. Starting from the parametric roof, circumnavigating through the parametric skin on the south and the west facade, covering the school terraces with a green The journey starts with a pedestrian plaza of a curved staircase, giving an overview of inside. On another plaza, depicting the different terraces of market. And holistic approach over the intervention. Thank you.